it up again.
Shh. You can't say that.
We're not live yet, are we?
No. Well, yes. Oh, we are live, and there's 2 people live, so they hear you whispering. But you gotta be very quiet. Hello, everyone. How are you? We're not really here yet.
We're just a figment of your imagination.
That's right. It's a figment of your imagination. You get to look at the beer we're gonna drink in just 3 minutes. It won't work. Oh, goodness.
You do not see that hand.
It's a figment of your imagination. We're not really here yet. We're embodied by aliens. What's up, RC? Welcome, but we're not here yet. No, definitely not whiskey. It's Jim.
In your imagination, it's Jim.
Church key. If that opens a church, we've all got problems.
So you're starting.
It's very, very interesting. We have 7 people on, and nobody's really saying much, even though we're whispering like freaks. Good evening, YouTube! Caught y'all off guard. So on tonight's agenda, as you guys can see here, we have a couple pumpkin beers. It's that season. We like pumpkin. Well, I like pumpkin. I think
I like
Matt
pumpkin.
just kind of follows along sometimes.
Sometimes.
So we have some Elysian, pretty good stuff here, and then the Voodoo Ranger got some habanero in there, so a little bit spicy. So we're going to get into some of this stuff tonight. Tonight should be a fairly decent video. The plans is to go through a couple clutches that we cut before. So we have the Enchi Het Lavenders, Het Clowns, or Het Grails. So that clutch is there. The other clutch would be the Resurrection Gene pairing, which was a cinnamon spider to the Resurrection Gene. We have all those we're going to go through. I'm going to sit on well,
A few.
Yeah, well, the whole clutch for now, and then there'll be like the 3 what just look like cinnamon spiders. I don't really see anything else in there. More than likely, those will be out of here. There's a normal that'll be out of here, and a normal that I think has, or 2 normals that I think have the Resurrection Gene in it. Those will sit around for a while. That's a boy and a girl. And then the cinnamon Resurrection Gene, there's a 1.1 ratio of that, a male and a female. That'll be hanging out here. They look fantastic, so you guys will get to check that stuff out. And then finally, we'll switch views, and Mr. Thomas will get to cut some eggs. We have a double het female albino pied that we paired to a visual albino pied. So we should have pretty good odds there statistically, but last year, more amazingly,
right?
That's all these rhymelings. We did that pair. We did a het-to-het or double het-to-double het pairing to be more accurate, and ridiculous odds. We had 6 eggs, 1 normal in the whole clutch. The rest were pieds, albinos, and 1 albino pied, which was just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you look at all the videos last year, the mini clutch was amazing and got the most attention because of how she looked. But I think if you look statistically, the best clutch was probably this clutch, getting all pieds, albinos, and the albino pied, other than that 1 normal.
Yep.
So that was fantastic. That was really a good cutting. So this go around, we're going to look at a bunch of snakes. that just hatched and shed that look good, and then we'll cut some eggs and then probably go over what's coming up with the next couple shows that we'll be vending at or going to, that kind of thing.
With showing of the snakes, can we show them what the single gene Kelly looks like so they can kind of get an idea of what a Kelly looks like?
If you're 100% confident you have one of those, absolutely.
Yes, because Art confirmed it.
Well, then we can
Yep.
look at some of that Kelly stuff too. So we'll start.
We'll do the
We'll
one.
start with the Enchies. Well, we'll do a couple.
Yeah.
Because we have a couple that are confirmed and some others that are still in question. So we can look at
Yep.
those two and really make a meal of the whole video. But we can start with the Enchies. We'll move on to the Resurrection Gene and then come back to look at those Kelly stuff and where all that stuff sits. And then we'll
cut.
pop some tops. Let me...
Move some beer. I'll take mine. I'm a little parched.
Parched. Whatever, dude. All right. Woo! So this first one we're going to take a look at. This is a Enchi double het for Grail. Here, let me turn the lights on for you there, Matthew. That might help them out a little bit.
A little shine.
And she looks pretty good. The females in this clutch look decent. Definitely good banding. There is a little color, some colored flames that come up from the bottom. You can see there. They look nice. Holding both of the girls from this pairing.
Hello, everyone.
And
welcome.
In one male. Here's the other female.
Look at that crazy flaming going up right there. Just everywhere.
Yeah, she looks good. The girls look decent. The boys definitely look better. They have more orange, more color coming through. I'm going to keep one of the boys as well. That will leave me with a male Enchi double het, a normal double het male, and a female double het male, I believe. So there'll be 3 animals available from this clutch. If you did watch the cutting, I did have 7 eggs. But I did have another Enchi that came out of the egg, but then was severely kinked and was dead when I went down to pull the animals. So unfortunately, we're 6 eggs. And it literally the kink was so bad. It was right up in this area here, and it looked like the pied sign, like if the 3.14 symbol for mathematics. It was how bad it was kinked, and it expired, or had expired by the time I found it. So that's the other female. Staying here. We're going to look at a couple of the boys. So this is male number 1. This is the male staying here. You can definitely see a lot more orange colors and
Let's see if I can pick
really
it up.
cool orange blushing that come up in the dorsal that the females just didn't have. And to be honest, the only thing that I can contribute that to would possibly be, this guy having the axanthic. And if he does truly have the axanthic, that's great for down the road, but it's really hard to tell at this point, if there's a difference in who has what. But the females are definitely a little duller, a little less color. This guy really looks fantastic, which is why that's the one that's staying here.
We actually got a new cable for our mic, so how is the sound, everybody? I want to make sure it's working well.
So this guy, this is a male. This is the Enchi double het that is not staying here.
Here's your little head. There we go. It's double het for lavender, albino, and clown.
Yeah. So I was mistaken. I have two males. These are the double hets. They're 100% het for clown and lavender. I thought I had a female in a normal, but I do not.
One of those ungifted boys. When you popped it the first time.
Yeah. So, I mean, for normals, they look great. There's still some decent flaming in there. Great color. A little bit of the oranges coming up from the bottom. Just not quite as bold as the Enchies. But again, the pairing was an Enchi Clown to a lavender 100% het for SK Exanthic. So any one of these are potential, well, they're double hets with a 50% chance of being a triple, including that Exanthic. All right, so let's see. I'm sorry, we fed a couple animals tonight, so I'm just moving some cards around so it makes it just a little bit easier for myself. So moving on to that, ow, fucker bit me. I'm sorry.
Hey,
the snake bit me.
The bleeper
So
bit him.
These are the three spiders from the clutch that we have. They all look pretty much identical. So at this point, they really look like cine spiders because they're kind of looking the way Mom did when she was young.
Look at that. Fading, a little bit of the blushing down the bottom. Looks
Yeah,
really good.
and they're really solid animals at this point. They're just seeing their first meals probably about 7-8 minutes ago. So I'm pulling them out instead of letting them eat, which I probably shouldn't have done just to give them their first meals in. But they all look good. They're rock solid. You can see their heads, really minor little twitch there. But for the most part, these guys are, look really good. No corkscrewing or anything too crazy. They look like they're going to be solid animals.
Yeah, especially when they bite
Put
you.
on a couple 100 grams, huh?
You said especially when they bite you.
Yeah, especially when they bite. Yeah, it's a good sign. As a lot of people, think it's a negative that an animal strikes. For me, with having the volumes that we have, it's actually pretty good response because that just kind of tells me this animal is gonna eat really well, and it's not gonna be an animal I have to worry about. So
Right.
and most of these guys look like they're ready to freaking fire off. Any comments going on there? All right, these are the first two normals. And I don't know if you can really see a difference here. This one definitely looks kind of
More normal.
standard. And this one is just slightly ever different. And I think once it puts on a little size, sheds again, this one's really going to set the difference between these two. And then if if you look at these two now compared to this one here, we're seeing a lot, more similarities in like some of the pinks. I don't know if the pink is coming through on the camera. Pink is kind of one of those tough colors. But a lot of the speckling and some of the brighter colors, some more of the white outlines, just a little bit more showing in these guys than this one. So I believe these two.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Lost connection for a minute.
All right, so that's the first two clutches. That's the Enchi clutch we looked at, and then the Oh no, the pinnacle of the resurrection gene. I can't believe I didn't pull these out. Hold on.
Yeah, you forgot a couple snakes there, Jim.
Yeah, I forgot the important ones. All right, so that's cinnamon resurrection gene number 1, which just looks fantastic. If you've seen a standard cinnamon and you look at this guy, the amount of blushing and the black halos around all the alien heads just makes this thing ridiculous.
That looks crazy. All that blushing down there.
Yeah, and these guys have some really cool color, some popcorning stuff coming through on the bottom, which I presume, I'm not known cinnamon to do that. That's typically like a black pastel trait, but these guys just look awesome. This is the male, this is a female. They both will be staying here.
You guys are having fuzzy video?
Oh, really?
Yeah, looks like it's fuzzy.
They said that? Or you
Yeah,
said that?
no, Dan said it.
Yeah, I don't know how to change. I mean, that's like the fastest internet speed is available here.
All good for me. Blurry, fuzzy, hard to see.
Can you back out? Like, is the camera go widescreen?
Oh, you can enable the flash for this too. Turn the light on there.
That's right. Can you?
Let me see if I can.
No, that just flips it around.
That was what I was just doing.
Yeah, it's too bad you can't go into like widescreen and.
Well, I was like thinking if I could pause and then restart, if it would. You guys still having fuzziness on your end?
All right. Well, this is the pinnacle of that clutch.
Ooh, a little feisty.
A little feisty.
Watch on 65-inch TV. Looks good.
Huge difference between these guys and a normal cinnamon. So we're really amped to have, and this is really what I wanted. I wanted to get the spider kind of out of it, which it looks like we were able to do. So I'm very excited to have these two. This guy will be ready to go next season, and this girl will take some time. I'm going to put these up, and then we're going to switch sides. Matt is going to go through some of the Kelly stuff, and we're going to cut some mags.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Those look like 4,000 gram hatchlings. Oh, wait until you see the Kelly clutch. Those are 4,000 gram hatchlings there.
Like twice the size of like pretty much all the eggs this year.
Right.
All right. Get around here. Thank you, sir.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's our feed card, so we kind of keep track of all the feeds just to make sure nobody goes off too much. When you start, pushing 75, 100 babies and 100 snakes, it can be a challenge to kind of keep track of who ate and who didn't. So, what's this one?
That one is the Kelly.
So this would be a straight up Kelly.
So what you get is, with the Kelly gene, after talking with Art a little bit, you get reduced alien eyes, or keyholes in the pattern. Cleans it up a little bit. It works really well with darker jeans and yellowing type jeans. They said it's really more visible, especially in the axanthic stuff, because it starts.
And if you look at this pattern, it really, not 100%, but it really kind of emulates what Enchi does. You get some of this banding. It's a little thinner than what you would see in an Enchi, but this extra pop of color, and it's super clean, like super, super clean. So I will say that once you mix this in with other jeans, it really gets a little tricky in determining if it's there or not. And as we go through a couple more of these, you'll kind of start to see what we're talking about.
Look at the other side. Yeah. So nice and clean.
Yeah, that's awesome looking right there.
And there, after going back to them, there are a few that he's uncertain about because it's mixed with jeans he hasn't worked with yet. So those are gonna stay here, and
Which leaves pretty much probably most of the clutch that's going to stay here for a while.
yeah.
I mean, it definitely makes things look better. It's a subtle jean, but its impact is huge. So you really got to learn an eye for it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. So, I mean, we're not going to keep the whole clutch for sure. It's just a matter of when we're going to let stuff go.
So this was the other one that was confirmed. This is an axanthic spider Kelly.
Currently it's considered it's a dominant gene, a complete gene. It's been around for about 8 to 10 years, and they've not been able to hit a super that they can tell. But that said, I mean, it took Ozzy about 10 years to hit a super for the OD. So it really depends on, how hard Art's gone after the super. And to be honest, I just don't know the answer to that. I mean, he can be working the snot out of it and just never hit it. So it's probably, a complete dominant gene, but not truly knowing the answer to that. It could also be an incomplete that's just not been really worked hard for the super.
Yeah. And another thing that he told me to look out for in the axanthic stuff is you should really get the white coming up higher up on the sides.
Which again is something else to note, that the black pastel girl that popped this clutch gave us 3 SK axanthic babies, in which we had no clue that she was even het for SK axanthic.
Right.
With 3 additional lines of axanthic that could be possibly in the mix between the MJ line, the Jolliffe, and the VPI. That's just nutso.
All right, so I'll take that one back. Let's see. All right. So we
Cheers.
confirmed those.
I wish I had at least smell-o-vision. Smell-o-vision would be nice for you guys to smell how good that beard smell. It smells like a slice of pumpkin pie. Now, mind you, some of these snakes may be going into or coming out of shed, so they may not look 100% their best, but most of them look pretty decent.
All right, so we got here is our black pastel axanthic and our black pastel. Also talking with Art, he said that the Kelly could be in there because you see some of the flecking has disappeared in the lower parts of the black pastel.
Just looks, I mean, there's an extra color pop there. Super, super clean and isolated alien heads. Almost no busyness in there. And looking at those alien heads, they are very, I would say almost consistent, where down here by the neck, you get a lot more of that kind of, that chain link stuff going on in black pastel than what you see here. And then coming over to this side, it looks almost identical. So we either have 2 extremely nice black pastels one that's also expressing axanthic, or 2 black pastel Kellys and 1 really nice axanthic. So it's really going to take time and a lot of research on our end to look at some of the other, black pastels and do a lot of comparisons and see, how much of a difference there may or may not be. And then we'll take a guess, and, maybe the animal's, 500-600 grams and we're letting them go, but, we're okay with that.
Right.
I mean, but like, look at that belly shot. Like, the sides are just nuts. And the color, I mean, if that's just a black pastel, that's probably one of the nicest black pastels we've ever produced.
Right.
And again, you get a lot of this popcorning. Now, this popcorning that you see like down on the bottom is usually to, what's up, Dave? Welcome. I mean, that can be considered like yellow belly stuff, but it's not in the mix here. But, black pastel tends to give you some of that like popcorning or whatever down along the belly. We do have it here, but you can see some of it starting to pop there. But decent flames, really good color. If that's just a black pastel, that's, in my opinion, a very insane looking black pastel. So black pastel,
Possible Kellys.
probable Kellys, and axanthic. Yeah, I agree, Dave. That's exactly what we were saying too. For it to be just a black pastel or a black pastel axanthic, it's either the nicest on the planet or there's something else in the mix. And we know we were working with a gene, a Kelly gene out of Florida from Art to Jacqueline that, it's a subtle gene by itself, but you mix it in with the right stuff and it really pops some color and it amps things up, cleans things up a little bit. So, it's really the extra subtleties that we're looking for, which is probably most of the time.
A little bit.
Yeah. Now this we're suspecting is a black pewter. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it, man. Really do. So this is expected to be a black pewter, and that angle kind of catches it pretty good. You can see those alien eyes have a little bit different color to them. It's slightly different than what you're seeing in the video, with a really nice whitewash flame going down to the belly. Super clean. Again, a lot of pewters have a lot of noise in the alien heads or down by the belly. And you get chain linking like this, that's pretty common. But this one just looks slightly ever different. A lot of really great blushing as well. There's really only a couple snakes from this clutch that I would say wouldn't have a little extra.
Right.
So it would be, out of 8 snakes, would be tough to say that, for an incomplete dominant that we hit 6. I mean, I guess it's not inconceivable, but yeah. So I don't know. This is a female, black pewter, minimally, probably has the Kelly as well. So again, Art has not worked with black pastel in the Kelly gene. So if this happens to be the case, this would be a world's first, although it's really hard to say.
Right.
Breaking new ground is always tough.
Go back to your.
Yeah, that looks good. And even with a regular black pewter, the alien heads tend to really dip down. The bottoms teardrop right toward the belly. These just really look like they're way higher up. And there's, I don't know. Again, it looks so much nicer than a black pewter. We've made black pewters before. That's not new to us.
Yeah.
This animal just looks ridiculous. So, again, it's either polygenic or it's the Kelly gene. So that's the good beer right there. That's, while Matt's getting the next one, that's the Elysian, the Night Owl. Really good pumpkin nose. It tastes like kind of like a slice of pumpkin without being too sweet. This one, however, is a pumpkin beer, and it's by Voodoo Ranger. It's called Atomic Pumpkin, and it's apparently a special release. And I don't know if you guys can read that right there. But it's a pumpkin ale with cinnamon and habanero. So if you like your stuff a little fiery, it's something for you. For me, I don't like pepper in my beer. It's just something I learned with time.
That's good.
It's good. It's more peppery than it is pumpkin-y, so you kind of lose the pumpkin.
This right here is our black pastel spider. And the difference you can see between the spiders that Jim showed earlier from the other clutch and this one here, the black pastel really adds a bunch of this orange down below.
Yeah, it's not, that orange really doesn't come through that great. I'm trying to see if I can. Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit there. If that's translating, yeah, you can try it. Yeah, it's a little better. Yeah, it's pretty close. There's a lot of pink in this animal.
So nobody heard you.
Sorry, I am buffering. I'm definitely connected to the strongest Wi-Fi that's closest to me. So I mean, I double checked that before we got started. It's just a royal pain in the butt. So I definitely do apologize.
All right, I'll take that one away.
What do you got? A couple more?
Yeah, I got the pastel xanthic and then the everything.
Yeah. And we can bang those out, and then we'll clear the table and cut some eggs. Yeah. So it really will be interesting with this cutting. Last year was a head-to-head pairing, 6 eggs, and we had 1 normal. So
it'll be interesting to see what happens this year.
yeah, double head to double head. It's like a 1 in 16 with 6 eggs. We definitely smashed it, and we got the double visual. We had a couple pieds, and we had a couple albinos, and the 1 normal. So it was like the perfect clutch if you could.
All right, so what we have here is a pastel xanthic, and this one more than likely does not have the Kelly gene. As you can see, the whites don't come up as high as like on the spider did.
And if you look at that banding too, it really doesn't quite do the same pattern
Right.
that the Kelly lens. Again, it is subtle. It is a little bit different. Still a great looking animal, and it's fantastic that she proved out SK. So she'll be definitely in the Xanthic works every year, I have a feeling. But this is still a great looking animal. And this one was super, this is a boy, he was super, super clean when we cut the egg and when he came out. And with the first shed, he just got that little bit of shading up toward the top.
Yep.
But still looks really, really good.
All right.
One more.
One of the final Kelly.
Ooh, doggy. I know when Matt usually talks, he talks like a whisper, like a little mouse, because he's really short. It may be a total, height thing. I'm not really sure, but we do have my Rode Pro mic connected. I picked up a very specific patch cable to connect to the phone, so hopefully that's working and you can actually hear Matt what he's saying. I don't know that that's true, but
All right, so this is the one that we think has everything, with the exception of the visual xanthic. Stupid little Matt.
sorry, that's really funny.
Go stick your finger in a light socket, Jim.
That's a great picture. There's a
Yeah.
lot of color that came in on this animal. We think this is the whole deal. So Black Widow Kelly.
Yeah, the amount of like tannish, orange, peachy kind of color that's coming through since its first shed is just
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I like it with this. I really do. It's not the black and white, but like the Melina's cracking up laughing. That's a pretty good depiction of what the colors look like in live eye. That's about as accurate of this animal that I've ever seen on film or picture. And yeah, I'm digging it. It looks really, really nice.
Yeah.
You ready to cut some eggs?
Let's cut some eggs.
I'm ready to cut some eggs. Woo! Sorry about that. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. The golden scissors, the cloudy bin. Yeah, well, I'm telling you, we want to keep a female. So the only thing that we would keep out of this clutch, more than likely, would be a double visual albino pied female. Anything else is going to be...
And possibly a pied female because the
Yeah.
other one I have is only 66, so.
Well, the man has spoken. Drum roll, please. Oh, he'd buy you one. Woohoo! I hope we hit one so that you get one. And again, for all you guys that are kind of new, all this dimpling and this concave action is all pretty normal for the stage they're in. We're at like day 55, 56, something like that. And depending how far along you get, they pull apart either super easy where they just pop apart, or it's a little bit of work. You can see these guys are coming apart really easy, and that just means that they're ready to go, except for maybe that top one. That top one was a little plump.
Still a little plump.
Yeah, everything else is all concave, really nice.
All right, well,
6 eggs.
I'm going to cut them.
Best of luck,
Thank you.
and hopefully you hit better odds than last year.
So I'm going to go with the one that looks different.
Oh, you're going to do the Plump Meister?
Mm-hmm.
Don't do... You're not Billy. Don't be Billy. Dude, stop being Billy.
I'm not being Billy.
You are being Billy.
I'm trying to...
Just cut it like ectothermic. Stop copycatting somebody else.
I'm not copying somebody
Yeah,
else.
you are. You're nipping the
you-
end like that. Billy
you-
does that.
You want me to copy you?
No, I want you to be your own self, not don't be Billy.
Oh, and it looks like albino.
Ha! Thanks for dealing with me, guys. I appreciate it.
And...
So that's at least an albino.
yeah.
Lots of white spaces in there. You guys are seeing the same thing I am. That has the potential to be pied as well,
Yeah.
which will be fantastic. So if that's an albino without any pattern right there, yeah, that's one crazy albino. I'm wagering that's an albino pied. Yeah, I sure am. There's a lot of white in there. Whoop,
Ooh.
whoop.
Go right there.
Yeah, that's got to be an albino pied. Like
Yeah.
there's almost a little to no pattern there. That's got to be like a high white.
Albino pied.
Yeah, that's
Woo!
Stoke City, baby. Here we go. That's not the soccer club from England either.
And we got a double hit.
Really? Oh, yep. So 100%
Double
albino
hit.
pied. Being different always works. Every time.
All right, let's see. What do we get?
Otherwise, people make fun of you for being a copycat.
And
Double?
another double.
Another double. Yeah, the only possibilities that we'll see here are pieds, albinos, normals, or albino pieds. So, I mean, by those odds, you would think like 1 in 4.
Right.
But the odds of hitting the double visual is like, I think it's
hard.
like 1 in 16, to be honest. But don't trust me. Go to Morph Market. Morph Market is your most trusted source for buying reptiles at this day and age.
And we got another albino.
Yep, that's an albino. Now you can see on this one definitely has albino
More
pattern. You clearly tell that's albino. So albino and an albino pied. Woo! What the what? Yeah, looks good. And it's a little tough. There's still some veins in there, but
Yep. All right.
egg number 5. And one more after this.
And we got a pied.
Yeah, you got a pied.
We got a pied.
There you go. There's your regular pied. I don't know how well you guys can see into that. Put that headshot.
There was some pattern over here by
Yeah,
the tail.
there you go. There's your pied. A really high white pied. Oh, there's a couple.
Couple spots.
Yeah, that one will look good.
Yep.
So a pied, an albino pied, and a normal.
2 normals.
Yeah, well, whatever.
All right. Come on, albino pied. Get another one. And we got a pied.
And, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a really nice pied. That's a low white.
A little white pied. You get a little bit of it right there.
Dog. Dude, that one looks really good.
Yeah, let's see if I can turn it. You can get a little bit of the white there.
Well, you can just tell by the pattern.
Yeah.
That's
and the
just
color.
like,
Yep.
that's crazy. That's really nice. Maybe that's the girl that you keep. Well, the albino pied would be the girl you keep. But
Maybe.
that just looks ridiculous.
Yeah. Looks really good.
Woo!
So, 2 pieds, an albino pied, and 2 normals. I'd say that's pretty decent odds.
It's pretty good. Still not as good as the double het,
No.
but still pretty good. So that we're speculating is the albino pied. We'll still need it to come out to tell. We got a normal, the albino. Thanks, Dave. Really appreciate it. Another normal. That's a pied.
High white pied.
And then like a low white,
pied.
just ridiculous pied right there. That looks great. And you know, it's really preference on like how high white or low white you like your pieds.
Right.
The guys that like the low white stuff like all the extra pattern because you can really see more of the other genes that may be in the mix. Whereas the low white stuff really leaves you with a lot of guesswork to kind of figure out what you got when it's all done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I tend to be anywhere in the 50 percentile to, you know, maybe down to like 30% white. I still like, you know, a couple good size ringers on there, so you definitely know it's a visual pied.
Right.
But it is definitely helpful to have, you know, enough pattern for the other genes to have impact where you can see and kind of help you determine, you know, what's going on.
Right.
So I know with, you know, this clutch has been great, but we're planning for next year. I've got kind of most of my breeding plans figured out. You got most of yours.
Yeah, I got a few things I gotta go refigure out now that, you know, the Xanthic stuff proved out over there.
Yeah,
And
I dropped a fair amount of coin on a male that I needed for this season a couple months ago. What do you got for plans? What are you gonna do this year, or try to do this year?
Well, I have two het puzzle girls that I'm gonna be breeding this year. One's het puzzle, the other one's a pastel lesser het puzzle. The het puzzle is what gave us our puzzle stuff this year, which gave us 10 good eggs. Pastel lesser het puzzle hasn't bred yet, so it'll be her first year. Currently, they're both going to be going to the pastel het puzzle. I have some plans to pick up a male. I'm still working on that. So
Yeah, what are you looking at?
I am looking at a banana orange dream het puzzle.
Woo! And who you been staring at for a minute for that thing?
Aussie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aussie's got some crazy looking stuff.
That's another world animal right there.
Yeah, his orange dream stuff is just so out of this world that I need to get it into my stuff.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna do Orange Dream, right? Or and for me or for us here, it kind of goes for most genes that were derived from a certain person. Like, so if you know who that is, and they've worked and put the effort in, and their stuff is just paramount to anything else,
you go with them.
You go with it. The challenge with dropping coin with Kabelka or Ozzy, or some of these other guys that have done these genes is like you could spend half the money with somebody else, but down the road is that you're going to spend 5 years trying to catch up with quality,
right?
If you do that. So, do you save more and bite the bullet and go for that animal, or do you pay half?
I'd say save and go with the higher quality animal that is going to really amp up your quality of animal.
Yeah. I mean, and I would agree with that. I wish I
say that.
Who is it? There was a movie, and I forget the name of the movie, so you have to forgive me. But there was a lot of conversation about, are you listening to me or are you hearing me?
Ooh.
I know you're hearing me, but are you listening to me? And I really wish I had that feel of that conversation. Like, are you hearing me or are you listening to me?
Right.
When I started. Because I would have probably a third of the animals I have now, probably producing twice the amount of income, using a third less rodents. And
so true.
And just like a lot more time in my life for a lot less, endeavor, so that you can put more money into the animals that you do have and make sure everything is, not that it's not tip top now. I mean, it is, but like you can, with 20 animals as opposed to 80 animals, like you literally can go through every single animal, clean every bin every day, and all that. When you're 100, adults and 75 hatchlings, you're not cleaning everything every day. Right. It's just not going to happen. So, changing that mindset.
I have one I want to show.
Dude, really? Like mid conversation, he just checks out and stages left and goes somewhere else.
The flash that you got on is blinding me.
Now y'all know what I deal with.
Sorry, when I have a thought, I got to do it so I don't forget what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, exactly, Dan. Bye, Felicia. Squirrel! It's more like squirrel!
All right. So, Jim was asking about pairings this year. Another pairing that I'm looking forward to doing.
Squirrel! Ball. Squirrel! Sorry.
Should I go get the cone of shame and put that on too?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, get back over here. All right. So another pairing that I'm looking forward to. It's actually going to kind of coincide with our Pied project. I have a girl that I picked up from Nerd. She is a pastel spider, Enchi, lesser, malum bald, 66% het pied. And I'm gonna breed her to our
Welcome, DER.
quad male that we've been using over the past couple of years.
Oh, am I supposed to show the snakes?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just looking at your grill. You want to go through that again?
All right. So
What's up, old Troy? Welcome.
the female from Nerd. This is a pastel spider, Enchi, lesser, malum bald, 66% het pied. She is going to be going to our quad male, our pastel, Enchi, yellow belly, leopard, 100% het pied.
Hetko, welcome.
So, we can
Woo.
make super Enchis, super pastels, and then all the other genes thrown on top of that. And then hopefully she proves out for pied too.
Yeah. There's several people that just popped on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's run back over what we cut and what we think we got
Sure.
out of that clutch. You know.
I'll throw these guys back in.
Oh, that's the train wreck rack,
But it works so well.
the TRR.
No, that isn't the train wreck. This is the train wreck over here.
Yeah, that one looks better, but it
sucks.
works way less. Definitely less functional. That one looks like total crap, but works really good. It actually holds enough humidity to make it functional. Everything slides in and out really nice. It's super light. You can move it around. It's just wonky and looks like crap, but it doesn't slide or teeter-totter or anything. Yeah, I know somebody who makes racks as well, and that's going to be in the discussion coming up pretty soon.
Yep.
Show me, you
All
will.
right.
Never mind, I'm not going to do that.
So here we have
Little
a
Debbie Gibson action going on.
we have a low white pied, 100% het albino. Orientation is locked.
Sorry, there we go.
So low white pied, 100% het albino. Here we have a low white pied.
Dude, that is just looks ridiculous. Orange is crazy.
That thing's gonna look good.
Now, we've made pieds before, but never anything like extremely low white that looks like. Like, that is just dumb.
Yeah, that's just crazy looking. And then here is an albino, 100% het pied. You can't really tell.
Our Malum as well. This animal came from Nerd. She's been a finicky eater. She actually should have bred this past season, but didn't make weight.
Right.
So we've kind of pulled off. She's picked up some, like more meals lately and eaten relatively decent. So hopefully she's more than to age, and it looks like she'll hit weight for this coming season. So it's right around the corner. So hopefully she keeps eating the way she has been, and she'll be perfect. And we'll hit that 1,500 mark, and we'll start breeding.
Right. So albino, 100% het pied. You really can't tell because it's kind of upside down. You just see the belly. But when we first cut it open, there was a bit of pattern. And then we have a 100% double het.
Thanks, Dave. I can only imagine it's my connection, like the video drops, and which is, I mean, I'm almost at full strength on my Wi-Fi, so I don't know why. It's just got to be the amount of crap being used in my household.
Another double het.
Yeah, that doesn't have many alien heads in that section we're looking at. That's
No.
like a big run of. Oh man, I don't like my orientation lock. And then the cream of the clutch. What we're suspecting is an albino pied, just based on the amount of high white that's there. I mean, there's still a chance that it could be an albino, but there's not been a hint of yellow.
Yeah. it's just very hard to see it. That's its like tail right there.
Trying to get more light in there without messing with it too much. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep messing with it, but
Come on, just kind of roll that tail
yeah,
over.
I mean it's a great clutch. I mean, out of 6 eggs, four of them are visual of some sort, and then 2 100% double hets. So you can't really go wrong with that. Again, not as crazy as last year with the double het to double het with only one normal, and everything else was visual in the one double het. But you'll take what we can get.
Right, definitely.
And it's still good odds. We just pray that double visual is a female.
Yeah, because that's exactly what I'm looking for.
And if not, like that
one.
ridiculousness, hopefully will be a female, and that will stay here.
Right.
So we'll see.
And if they're both female, they
Both might stay here. Yeah, old Troy, dude, same deal. Like this year is a really big building year for us. Before you logged in, we went through a couple clutches. One was an Enchi het clown het lavender albino, and the other clutch was a cinnamon spider to a resurrection gene, in which we've hit at least 3 of those resurrection genes in there that we're really, really excited about, and they look phenomenal. So maybe we'll pull those back out so you can take a quick look at those. But again, super, super good building year as far as monetary and money kind of thing. Probably not going to be the greatest part this season, but 2020 will be an explosion year for us. Being focused and really building our girls and stuff. Yeah, resurrection gene. So if you follow Justin Kabelka at all, he resurrected the spot nose. He
was on the light.
resurrected the red gene. So what I did is I went on a mission to try to find a snake gene, a ball python gene, that had kind of been left behind, that kind of messed with pattern a little and maybe color or whatever, something that I really wanted to look at.
It looks like there's a stripe there that stops right here on the top of the tail here. So I think that might actually be the albino pied.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
we already said.
Well, I meant like, I think I actually see yellow actually stopping. It's hard to tell
Yeah.
the position it's in.
So, because I want to work with this gene and really plug it into a bunch of stuff before I throw it out to the quote unquote industry, we're calling it the resurrection gene for now. So that way, kind of everybody knows what I'm talking about, but at the same time, doesn't know what I'm talking about. And that's just where I'm at. I'm just, I want to get into some recessive and kind of get some stock built up before I blow the lid off of it, because, the lid's going to definitely come off. Oh, dude. Yeah, like that's just killer. Confusion het puzzle. Like, yeah. Hello, bank account.
There's some good pattern there.
Yeah, that's the regular pied, and there's some good pattern in that thing. And that's, the other thing when you cut, depending if they're belly up or whichever direction, they're facing when you cut, you may not necessarily see what you want to see, and you may have to go back to these things a couple times and just take a peek without trying to mess with them too much. And because this guy showed his colors before.
There's this pattern right there.
An Easter gene? Yeah, no, you're not even close on the alphabetical list.
There you go. There's the albino. Yeah, I don't know if you can catch it on the video.
Yeah, so, DER, it's kind of the same thing with this resurrection stuff is, I've never worked with it before. We have one clutch that we produced this year, and it's kind of the same for the Kelly. I mean, the Kelly gene is not like a top secret gene by any means, but it's a gene that we've picked up along the way that's been produced out of Florida. It's known. It's not well known just because it's not really been put out there.
Right.
So we produced one clutch this season, and we're really going to sit on all of that clutch just to get a feel for that gene and what it looks like, what it does compared to what it doesn't do out of that clutch. And once animals start to hit, 3, 4, 500 grams, we'll have a good feel for what that is, and we'll let them go, let the ones that we feel don't have it go, and just kind of really focus and work on, that gene and working it into other stuff. And it's tough. If you want to pull out the Cine Resurrection stuff. So we'll pull out the cinnamon resurrection gene animals so you can kind of take a look at them. And again, this is just stacked on one gene. It makes a huge difference. They look fantastic. But, I don't want to get rid of anything or divulge what it is because I'm trying to work my place kind of in the marketplace just a little bit, just to get a little bit of a head start of everybody else. There's really only a couple people on the planet that really know what this gene is.
It's a belly out there.
Yeah, that'll be cool. So this gene, this is a Cine resurrection gene, and it does not look like any cinnamon on the planet, like a single gene cinnamon. You got like all these great like dark halos going around all the alien heads, and the dorsal stripe is not jet black that runs into the alien heads. Like it's like a complete blush. Just really looks awesome. And I hit a 1.1 of these guys, so both of those animals will be staying here for sure. And from this point, next season I've got like 5 pairings for this particular gene, and it's gonna have no, it's not a nanny. It does not start with an N. And it just so we're going to put it into albino, we're going to put it into clown, we're going to put it into desert ghost. I'm going to get a jump on 3 different recessive projects. And I used to think that we went all over the place with the recessive stuff, and that it was going to be really hard to keep up with it, and why, and I was I wish I didn't. But now
it's actually,
now that I have a gene that does something really different, it's kind of cool to have those recessive girls that are the size, and I'm bang, bang, bang.
Right.
I can really rock this gene and get it put into stuff and just go crazy with it, and I'll be on multiple levels ahead of somebody else, whether it's Justin or Miguel or whoever else. But I don't even know if those guys even have this. So
Right.
I mean, I would guess not, just because it's the history behind it, which eventually we'll divulge.
Right. Once we divulge
Mhm.
genus.
Yeah, there's that Arroyo stuff. I just watched a video from overseas where guys are starting to make those Arroyo clowns, and they're really excited about the results. I haven't seen one myself, but that should be pretty interesting. Do you want to talk a little bit about what's coming up?
Oh, for this year you're talking about? Not
Sure.
pairings?
Well, not pairings, but
What's actually coming up?
really recently, what's coming up?
All right, so Sunday, we will be at the New England Reptile Expo in Manchester, New Hampshire. We will be sharing a table with David.
Wow. Well, it's probably David, to be honest with you.
with Dan
Davy Crockett.
with Dan Monroe from Monroe Morphs. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. So we have that, and then November 10th we'll be at the New York Metro Super Show.
Excellent, old Troy. Definitely stop by and say hi. That'll be pretty cool. And Dave, to answer your question about the Wookiee, I'm with you. I like it. Looks like a phenomenal gene.
Just like the name.
If I had completely deep, well, yeah. If I had deep pockets, I'd get some, because now that more people are doing different things with it, it's definitely something that has superseded the name. But like, I still don't like the name. Like Wookiee, really?
Get in there.
You're not too big a Star Wars fan. Like, ugh, you're killing me. Dan is definitely the Wookiee. He's the fuzzy Wookiee.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Yes, Melina. The show is Sunday
Yes.
in Manchester, New Hampshire. Same place it's been for the, I don't know, past what, 3 years? 4 years at least.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Minimally.
Yeah, because we've been doing this for 5. Well, probably like 5.
Yeah, Ball Pythons 9. I did see the Wookiee clown. There was somebody that posted it from Europe, and that thing is, I would love to get my hands on a Wookiee, because it will do some crazy ass bleep 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 bleep, as old Troy just said.
Yeah, I saw recently.
I'm trying to make Matt feel tall. That's why I'm doing that.
Actually, it still makes the racks look taller than me. It's not open.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What if I zoom in and make you look? Oh, see, now you look huge, dude. You're a beast.
I'm gigantic.
You're a Yeah, no, not so much.
Mighty Mouse on steroids.
There it is. That's reality right there.
Here we go.
Yeah, try to. No. Don't jump. Stand up again. Oh, perfect. There you go. All right. So this coming weekend, Sunday, we will be in Manchester, New Hampshire. I believe that show opens at 9:30. By paper, he'll probably open at 9. He tends to do that.
Right.
Likes to surprise everybody. The following weekend is
right.
the 12th. Well, technically 11th, I guess, but 12th and 13th, that will be Tinley, Chicago. Yours truly on the other side will be there with his wife. We'll be hanging out there. So if you happen to be out in that direction and you're going, please, look at, we'll have a shirt on that looks just like that right there. Definitely stop me, say hi. We'll take some pictures and maybe get some video clips for a video to toss you in there at some point or another. And then what's following after that?
So then we got the New York Metro Reptile Expo in White Plains, New York, which is November 10th. That's going to be their first super show. So they're going to add an extra floor. So we'll have the main floor, the stage, the annex, and then the floor down below. More likely, we're going to be in the annex, is where we're going to be.
Yeah, for sure. The problem with that, Dave, is drunk buys are never planned. It really depends on how drunk you get. So
And if,
it will be definitely, if it does happen this year, something that's on the agenda that I'm looking at. So when I get drunk, I just magically go out to Morph Market or to Facebook where there's auction pages and.
Yeah, if you go back and you watch the kind of the clips from the last Tinley show, you can see kind of, well, Jim's not really in the video too crazy, but he went a little crazy at the auction.
Well, that's because I was shooting the video. I came back with a bunch of stuff. This being one of them. Yeah, I paid an exorbitant amount of money for that. I think that was like $380.
Yeah, but
It's a really nice piece of granite, NARBC. It does say 2017, and I bought this in 2018. I did not look at this before the auction started.
he bought that, and then he also bid on a Morph Market
Account, which I bought a month beforehand.
Right.
So, yeah, not the most intelligent purchase of my lifetime. And then the good thing I brought home was
the Mackenzie.
yeah, you can pull that out. I think there's a couple people on here that haven't seen that yet.
So at the time,
Terry, drunk buys are the best.
At the time, a $2,000 snake, and Jim got a really, really good deal on it.
Yep. This is a female Mackenzie, and I've talked to several people that breed them or have produced them is more accurate, and some of those individuals have said that this animal definitely has something else going on in it. And others have said, nope, that's just a Mackenzie. However, I've not been able to find a single gene Mackenzie that looks like this online anyway.
I wonder.
The closest I've come to seeing an animal like this was a Super Mac. I saw a Super Mackenzie that looked like almost identical, but I'm not going to jump to conclusions by any means. We'll breed her and see what happens.
I kind of wonder if she's got a het somewhere. Maybe.
I don't know.
Only one way to find out. Breed her to a whole bunch of different hets.
I love the way she looks, for sure. And I don't know if there's anything extra there or not. It doesn't really matter. Because if there's not, and there's that kind of quality, anything that gets bred to her is just going to be stupid. So that's like my favorite word.
All right, Dan, take care. We'll talk to you later, man. We'll see you Sunday. And I think
What else?
I think that's it for this.
No, it's coming up way in the future. We'll probably put the order in probably November, December-ish.
We're talking about doing some new gear. We're looking, so we got the red with gray. We got the black with the gray distressed. We're actually looking at doing a like military drab olive type green color. I don't think we've decided on what kind of emblem color yet.
I think it's going to be black.
Do black?
Yeah.
So we're going to do that, and then we're looking at doing a flag on the sleeve.
Yep.
Distressed maybe, or just straight
Oh,
up?
it'll be definitely. Well, the flag will probably be straight. The emblem, like you see here, the logo will be distressed, like on the new blacks.
Yeah.
And then it'll be the pretty typical wording in the back, just like this, the ectothermic dungeon. And of course, you can see all Matt's dog hair on there.
Yeah, I have a Husky Shepherd mix, and it sheds everywhere. So yeah, we're doing that kind of like a honoring military type thing. You know, both veterans ourselves, and we appreciate everything that our military is doing for us now. So yeah, sometime here in the short future, soon future, close future.
Yeah. Oh, Troy, I unfortunately do not have any Sunset stuff in my collection. So that was his phone clanging over there. But the Sunset stuff,
I'm not impressed with it.
I'm still, well, it's not that I'm not impressed with it. I'm still on the fence with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it can be epic.
It just has to be mixed with the right type of genes.
I do. I think it has to be a stack thing.
Yeah.
And then it'll be stupid. The stuff that I've seen so far is decent to cool, but like not something I'm running to go buy.
Yeah, there's other stuff we'd rather start working with than.
You know, I can make a higher impact with, you know, something that's not 10 grand than I can with, you know, buying an animal that's $10,000 to try to work through my collection. So I'm like, I'm good, okay at the price point to kind of do something else for now.
Yeah, like if I had choice between Sunset Puzzle, I'm going Puzzle all the way.
Oh, so you got Sunset stuff. Well, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I just haven't had the pocket to to do it. So between the pocket and
Other recessives that we want to work with first.
well, we've got 9 other recessives already in the collection that we need to kind of vet out.
But do you want to tell other people other recessives that you're looking at wanting to get?
But that's not what we're talking about. Like, I don't know.
Because the next
I don't know. Just again, like the $8,000 to $10,000 range for a visual is great for the person breeding it, but it's like
the monsoon.
it's insane. Well, the monsoon, like I can get a visual monsoon for $3,500. Like it's stupid pricey, and like I've not bought an animal at that price point yet.
Right.
But like like you go back and watch Billy's video from last week about the leopard monsoons. Like they're freaking stupid. Like they look really, really good. Like I can see a direct impact.
Right.
And yeah, and true. I mean the puzzles when Sean was running them back in like the heyday, so to speak, when it was prime time for the puzzle, made a massive difference, and they were very, very expensive.
Still.
They've come down significantly. You can buy a puzzle for like
$1,800.
right, where you couldn't touch a sunset visual for that.
No.
Not right now. So I mean, my pockets just aren't deep enough for sunset. On top of, in my opinion, the layering and the figuring out of what it needs to really make it the strong gene that I think it'll be.
Right. So,
nice.
So you got a puzzle from Sean?
Well, seeing we're talking about puzzles, why don't you just go grab something for people to look at, because you're not really that cute.
No, I'm not. I'm far from it.
Like if you were my wife, I would say, you could just like unzip the blouse a little bit and people would be enamored for the next 30 minutes.
They don't want to see me lift my shirt, that's for sure.
Oh, I definitely don't want to. I mean, they won't even see it because I'll drop this and I'll run the other way.
The camera would crack.
So this is one of the puzzles we produced this season. Was produced from a het-to-het pairing, het puzzle to a pastel. Wow, shots fired. That's funny. To a pastel het puzzle. The female we picked up kind of mid-season as a het. She was like sold to us at 1,500 grams, and we got her here and she was like 1,650. So these two puzzles are staying here.
These two?
Mostly because the pattern is just ridiculous. And I really want to try to work some of the polygenic stuff. He's handsome with all his gray hair. Thanks, Terry. So based on their pattern, we decided to keep the puzzles here. The pastel puzzle is still a puzzle, still looks good. It just slightly less strong puzzle pattern. Like if you look at those, just let it be. And it's it's back. So like if you look at those two, they're close, but this one just seems way more solid.
Well, more defined.
Yeah. And it could be just, this particular pastel puzzle, maybe we were better off going with that. But at this point, we decided to stick with the two normals. And to be honest, we've got tons and tons of pastel in our collection, probably way too much. So anything that we can keep that doesn't have pastel in it is probably better for us.
Even though the super pastel puzzles look ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a good look right there. Yeah. I mean, that's got to be the fattest eye stripe. And it like comes right up over the nose. Oh, wow, dude, that'll be awesome. Puzzle doing hets, or are you going to produce a visual cypress puzzle? So I assume that means visual cypress puzzle.
To do puzzle cypress this season. Yeah, if I can get the snake that I'm looking at, I'm trying for a pastel lesser banana orange dream puzzle.
All right, you want to look at these eggs we cut one more time, and then we'll probably call it.
Chew away.
We're almost 90 minutes.
Yeah. Come on, feisty.
Het puzzle cypress. Yeah, that'll be a killer pairing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even if it's just hets.
Yeah, because that just builds for your future.
Yeah, that'll be insane.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna review these eggs one more time for you guys that kind of like dialed in, kind of like after we cut them. Yeah, dude, they're like, Mark, those eye stripes are like super, super fat. LKB, welcome. We're gonna go over what we cut. The pairing was a het
Double het.
albino pied to a visual albino pied. So everything is at least a double het. And Matt here is going to talk us through.
Got that one. All right, so here is double het. Albino pied. This here, hard to tell.
Thanks for showing up, Taya.
Is we believe that it's an albino pied, but the position it's in, it's really, really hard to tell. Here we have
Thanks for showing up, old Troy. Really appreciate it. Have a good night.
another double het.
Thank you.
Here we have an albino het pied. Here we got a high white pied het albino. And a very low white pied het albino.
Yeah. So 4 visuals, 2 normal / double hets. Still really good odds. Not quite as good as our double het to double het pairing last season, but like
Right.
still a phenomenal pairing. We'll take 100%. Over the 66s that we made last year. So the visuals that we did make last year were either pied or albino, and the het component was 66. So, for like this low white pied to be 100% albino is just amazing.
Yeah.
And this pied to be 100% albino, or the albino to be 100% pied. It's a game changer when you start breeding these animals. It makes a huge, huge difference. And again, we really think that is the albino pied. And we will do an update when they come out. One of the things that's kind of come to fruition, if you will, is we have, 5?
I have one, and you have how many?
4, anywhere from 4 to 6 more girls that are going to drop eggs this season. 4 of them are almost definitive. One is 100%.
Yeah. So
The other 3 are about 35 millimeters, so only about another 5 millimeters more to go before they are actual eggs. And then there's 2 more girls that could. When we ultrasounded last, we couldn't. She's still pounding food. She was like 12, 14 millimeters last time we ultrasounded, and we couldn't get a reading this most recent go around, which was on the 22nd of September. So hopefully she kind of goes off feed, kind of clears her system, and we can see what those eggs look like. And, and that's the tri-stripe stuff, which would be ridiculous to actually hit and have tri-stripes on the ground in like January or February. That'll be awesome. And then the other ones that most recently really look like they may go, I'm not sure. is a OD Extreme female and a Butter Extreme female. The OD Extreme was paired to an Orange Dream Fire, so Super OD Fire Extremes. That could be pretty intense to see what that looks like. And then the OD Extreme was also paired to the OD, or the wait, sorry.
You already said the OD.
I gotta reel that back. The Butter Extreme was paired to the Pastel Leopard Yellow Belly, Posset for Pied, and then later paired with a Firefly Leopard Het for Desert Ghost. So I think that one will be kind of a shit show.
Right. And then the definitive one that is going to be dropping eggs, so probably around, I don't know, probably Halloween time frame, I think we'll probably be expecting eggs, which is our Black Pastel Pinstripe Het Pied, which was bred to our Albino Pied. So more Albino Pied type stuff. So,
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, I think that's about it.
I think so.
You done?
I'm done.
I'm done.
I think we're going to call it a night because, what
Yeah.
about you? We got work in the morning.
We got work in the morning and stuff to do tonight, and we'll see you guys maybe in New Hampshire. So, all right, y'all, take it easy. Peace.
Later.